Being single and hot for the first time in my life at 40 years old is literally one of the strangest combinations you can have.
Can we also talk about women who are actually not used to being rejected by faithful men?
Men do not like older women.
I used to get rejected all the time by guys.
What happens when the men who were once expected to chase relationships become the ones doing the rejecting? Why are more men in 2026 becoming selective, cautious, and comfortable walking away from dating opportunities? And why does that seem to be surprising so many people? Stay with us until the end of this video, because this shift reveals how much modern dating dynamics may have changed.
Can we also talk about women who are actually not used to being rejected by faithful men? Men who simply just don't want you because he is happy with his woman. How you guys on social media will be bashing that man for politely saying, no, I don't want you. You guys will be like, I know his type. He's just pretending. I also dated one. And in the inbox, actually behind my back, I used to be the profile. You guys will share all your traumatic stories from your serial cheaters trying to water down the man's character just because it's he doesn't want you. Get over it.
For years, many people assumed that men would always be willing to say yes to almost any opportunity for companionship. But today, a growing number of men are becoming far more selective about who they allow into their lives.
I used to get rejected all the time by guys that I actually liked, and it was so fucking annoying until I actually went into like my rejection wound and cleared that shit. I finally, like, nothing stupid would happen where they would like reject me. But the funniest thing I ever like happened was a lot of the guys that rejected me later in life, I would like see them again, and the universe is just so funny because they're always I always think rejection is protection. Like, there's a reason you didn't end up with them. You didn't lose the love of your life, like, trust. But I literally would see them later in life and then be like so disgusted by them because I would see how they were with like their new relationship or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, thank God I didn't date you because holy shit, we would have never vibed. So I'm just saying, sometimes the universe is just protecting you. You have no idea.
What makes this trend interesting is that many of these men aren't reacting out of bitterness. They're simply living differently. They have careers, routines, hobbies, financial goals, and lifestyles they don't want disrupted by the wrong relationship.
Being single and hot for the first time in my life at 40 years old is literally one of the strangest combinations you can have. And here's why. Generally speaking, there are three types of men that are hitting on me. Men around my age who have young kids and are recently divorced. I tried dating one of those. It didn't go too well. He was also unemployed the entire time we were dating, so like, that was on me. Then there is the single divorcee who is 10 to 20 years older than me, who wants to date me and has grown kids. Not into that. Unless you're Jeff Goldblum, then I'm into that. And here's the last group of men who are really interested in me, ages 26 to 28. Make sense. When I go out with my best friend, the only men who hit on us, ages 26 to 28. Rarely are they even 29. Not the 30-year-olds. Where are the 30-year-olds? I no idea. I just turned 41 this year. But a 26-year-old, they are obsessed. When I tell them I'm 40, now 41, they don't believe me. And I know what the comments are going to say. I'm sorry, but you look 40. There's nothing wrong with looking 40. Embrace your age. Well, what do you want me to do? None of them think I'm 40. They don't think I'm 40. And I'm sorry. I cannot date a 27-year-old. Those are the only ones who hit on me. Or their dads, who are 57 years old. Where are all the men 35 to 45? Like, that is the zone I'm looking for. 35 to 45. But single at 40 is not for the weak. Care about yourself.
A lot of men have also spent years learning how to be comfortable alone. What once felt like loneliness now feels like peace, freedom, and control over their own time.
Men do not like older women.
Would you ever date an older woman?
No.
Why do you date younger women?
Less trauma. Perfect age for me is 30 to 40.
How old are you?
I'm 62.
What's your age range?
Damn, this is going to be on TV. That's pretty serious stuff.
I get a lot of action from younger women, that's all.
Through my interviews, I have discovered a shocking amount of ageism.
Women age differently.
What age women do you date?
23 to 33.
How old are you?
I'm be 53 this year.
What kind of girls do you like?
Young blondes, under 29.
How old was your last girlfriend?
About 30.
How old are you?
67.
Men don't even like women their own age.
What's up with the younger women, older man thing?
Well, for me, a lot of it's the looks.
Women your age you don't think that look that good?
I'll be honest, not a lot of them.
Do you date women your own age?
No, there's no. I'm not attracted to them.
And women your own age still not good?
All the ones my age who are really good have been taken.
Why are there so many misconceptions about women being not sexy anymore after puberty?
They're usually a lot younger than I am.
How much younger is a lot?
15, 20 years?
Yeah, my
What's the biggest
gap is 19 years.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 66.
What's the biggest age gap you've ever had?
33 years.
Because of that, relationships are no longer viewed as automatic upgrades. Many men are asking a different question. Will this relationship genuinely improve my life?
You ever dated a woman with children?
I have, but I was young. So I was like 22. I had a cougar. She had some younger kids. How old is your son?
He's 11.
He's 11. And from my experience, I told myself I couldn't take a woman with children seriously.
Why?
The child's always going to come first.
Yes.
Child's going to always come first. I'm going to always need to put you first, but I come second. And technically, he's a 10-year-old boy who's going to get into his teenage years. He's going to be in a situation where you're not my dad, right? I'm not talking about an anecdotal experience. Your son may be a sweet child, but my experience, it just hasn't been the best.
You have the right to feel however you want about dating a single mom. That's your prerogative, whatever. But you're on a date with a single mom. What are you talking about? Your priority here is supposed to be trying to get a third date. I don't even know why I'm on a second date with you in this moment.
Realistically, yeah, we can have some fun.
But taking it serious.
It's like taking it seriously is just hard because I don't have to settle. I've done certain things in my life to put me at a certain echelon, to date a certain top tier. Not saying a woman with a child is in top tier, but like standards wise, it's like I like to travel and be like, yo, let's go. I gotta go to Miami, let's do this, let's do that. And it's like, let me call my mom and see if she can watch the kid. It's just no real benefit in it for me.
Toya?
Yes.
You didn't ask for another date with him. What was the turnoff?
Specifically, the turnoff was when I asked that question about would you date a single mother? And Jacoby, you proceeded to tell me that basically you're a high-value man and you are too good for a single mother. However, you did also tell me that you were raised by a single mother, which is profound for me to think that a single mother's not good enough for you, but it's good enough for a woman to raise you. That's unfair, and it's very insensitive to women out there who have children.
All right, so just because of the cycle, I wanted to continue?
It doesn't have to continue.
So what I'm saying is that
it's more about why would you cut off and say that single women are not on the same level?
What you're supposed to learn from is history. You're a very intelligent woman. You're a very intelligent woman, right?
Yes.
So if you know, as a woman growing up, you know it's a less likelihood for you to be successful by having a child. So what you do, you be more proactive. Using condoms.
What's that got to do with your choice?
Okay, if you're getting pregnant, then all right, cool. Maybe I shouldn't continue with having this child because I'm not getting married. I have a better chance of me having a successful life by finding a man. That's what I'm thinking.
So you were raised by a single mother.
Yes. And
is your mother still alive?
I struggle. My mom's still alive.
Did she struggle or did you struggle?
Both of us struggle.
Okay, so your words that echoed all around social media, and I want to make sure that we have this clearly, were, I'm a high-value man. I've done things to step up my echelon, and I'm not going to settle for a single mother.
Yeah,
did I have that correctly? I want to be clear.
Yeah, we'll be selling.
Right. So what makes you think you're a high-value man? The car you drive?
No, the value I put out into the world.
What about your character?
I have great character. I've built myself to basically have better choices. You want to know why? Because women can choose and make a choice.
They can
say, I don't want to date a man that makes less than 6 figures.
They can.
And then what are you doing? You're demeaning a man.
Talking about that.
Women
That's
can
not
talk
the
about
situation
their
that
Listen, hold on.
That's
A woman can say, I won't date a man less than 5'8", and the man could be 5'4". Do they care about
what does that have to do
ostracizing all of those
with
men?
anything?
If a fat man is sitting here he can be a fat man, right? But if a fat woman is sitting here, you would say, oh, no, we're body positive. Oh, no, we can't say that. We can't. It's all about picking her up. So every time it's saying something for a man,
bro,
it's down.
You got a lot on your back,
Yeah,
okay?
man.
So what I want to be clear, not
right.
just for you, but for everybody out there, is the car you drive, your resume, your bank account, your accolades is not what makes you a high-value man.
Definitely not.
We are all defined by the sum of our deeds and our character, and you, brother, are coming up to the sum of zero.
Social media has played a role as well. Men constantly hear stories about relationship drama, financial stress, and emotional burnout. That exposure has made many more cautious than previous generations.
Another thing, all these young guys who think once they hit 35 to 40 they can date young hot women. Do you realize that the majority of young women are not pursuing older guys? Like, that's not something they're interested in. There is a subset of women who absolutely are like, yes, I want an older guy, that is the goal for me, but that is not the majority of young women. My stance is, Les, you are in the top percentile of attractiveness when you're hitting your late 30s. You will not be pulling the girls you think you'll be pulling, because you will be competing with young guys who have the same things going for them that you have going for you. And they'll be hotter because most people are not that hot 35 to 40. The majority of people, go to your Walmart, look around. I'm not talking about celebrities. The majority of young women don't even want a guy significantly older than them. They want a hot young guy within their own age. And you think your bum ass cannot work out, not make money, not do shit about shit. You're gonna hit your late 30s and suddenly date all these young hot chicks? Get so fucking for real. If that's legitimate your life goal, get a life. But if it is your life goal, start working out now. Get your money right now, okay? If this is what you want, you have to start investing in it now. Doesn't this negate what you said about charisma? No, listen. Extremely charismatic people can pull bad bitches left, right, and center. They can do that. But that's not gonna be most of y'all either, is it? Ha! Also, the way I find my hot older fellas is on dating apps, and charisma cannot help you on a dating app. As far as real life, there's more nuance to it. Okay, I concede that.
What surprises some women is that these men no longer seem driven by desperation. They are willing to walk away, stay single, and protect their peace if a situation doesn't meet their expectations.
Look, I have no interest in dating whatsoever. The door is firmly closed on any type of romantic relationships, entanglements, whatever. But it is weird to be this age and notice the type of men who are hitting on you, because it is just a wildly diverse group, right? Never before have I experienced this wildly different collective of men trying to get my attention. I'm not saying it's happening all the time, but when it happens, every time it's like a game of guess who. Like, how did we get here? You know, you got like the 23-year-olds trying to hit you up. I'm like, young man, I am old enough to be your mother. Okay, talking about I can be a real man. I can show you a good time. Show me what's under your bed, first of all. You know, then you got the 43-year-old divorced father of 4, right? Like, no thank you. And then, you know, you got this other weird demographic. You know, just now I was outside and a car rolled up and this man with a backwards Kangol on tried to talk to me, and he was blasting the Bobby Brown Ghostbusters theme song.
Many bachelors have built lives they genuinely enjoy. Their schedules, friendships, hobbies, and personal goals already provide fulfillment, making them less likely to settle just for the sake of being in a relationship.
Women don't do well with rejection, and the reason why they don't do well with rejection is because even when they are ugly, they know that they can still have sexual access to a man, because men are very easy to sleep with. So when she's rejected, she almost feels like she's being disrespected. She can't deal with that. False rape charges, rejection. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like, when a woman who hasn't really been raped says that she was, it's because of rejection. It's because of rejection. They feel entitled. It's an entitlement issue, because they have always been taught, because men are so easy, at least you can screw them. So when they can't, it's like, oh, for real? Bet.
The biggest shift may be psychological. Once a man learns to enjoy solitude, rejection loses much of its power. He's no longer afraid of ending up alone because he already knows how to thrive there.
Me being single at my age didn't come from bad decision making, stupid. It came from me never finding the man that I wanted to be with. I don't know in what delusional world y'all men live in where you think that it was all of these wonderful, great men running around when we was in our 20s and we just passed up on all of these great guys. The attractive men when we were in our 20s were doing what attractive men do, which is be players, talk to a whole bunch of different women, and never want to settle down. You do understand that, right? So given that the attractive men in their 20s didn't want to settle down, that left us with ugly dudes, dudes with kids, and dudes who didn't have themselves together. It's the same thing now that I'm older. The options didn't go from good to bad. It went from bad to worse, right? Now, instead of dudes just having kids, they got kids and grandchildren. And if you think some of them was unattractive back then, add on now the fact that some of them is out of shape, they ain't got no hairline, and they missing side teeth. They wasn't financially stable in their 20s, and a lot of them still ain't financially stable. Some of them still paying child support from the same babies that they was having when they was in their 20s. Y'all got to start being for real. These podcast lies that all of these men was going to get older and they was just going to become these rich men, that didn't happen for most of them. Sorry. A lot of the men in their 20s who was doing all that settling down and getting married were undesirable men. Men on the verge of losing their hairlines. Men who didn't have no bunch of options of women to choose from in the first place. That's the reason why it was so easy for them to settle down. And just like anything else, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. And I'm sure some women got lucky and they were able to find desirable men to settle down with in their 20s. But the exceptions don't make the rule. And I'd argue how many of those women and men are still married to this day. How many of those marriages actually lasted? Shout out to the ones that did. I know how y'all like to rewrite history and pretend as if it was all of these wonderful, great men for us to choose from in our 20s. And we just wanted to be outside and we wanted to party with our girls and we didn't want to settle down. That's not what was happening. The options weren't there back then. And you're still in the same position. The dudes who older, who are still desirable, they still don't want to settle down. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. It just gets worse. That's the part you're missing. So there's nothing that I can warn the younger girls about except letting them know that if you think it's bad now, it's gonna get worse.
This isn't some loud movement or public protest. Most men aren't announcing these decisions. They're simply becoming more selective and more intentional with their time.
There's this idea with a lot of young men that they'll hit their prime at 40 and then they can exclusively date young, hot women. I am the young, hot woman trying to date your dad. Let me tell you something. Most of you will not be pulling young, hot women when you're 40.
The reason why men, by the time they're 40, even if they were in their 20s, thinking that in 20 years, they'll be able to just date whoever they want if they're really successful and they build up their life where they want to be. The reason why many of them don't end up dating the 20-some-year-old by the time he's 40 is because one, he's either married, or two, he has realized that he doesn't want to. And that might be because of a multitude of reasons. I would argue number one, it's because he doesn't want his peace to be disrupted, or he's been there, done that, and lived to regret it. But trust me, you're not going to make him feel bad for not following through on thoughts that he had when he was 20-some years old. Trust me.
As a result, the dating landscape feels different. People who assumed certain men would always be available are discovering that many now have standards, boundaries, and priorities of their own.
I was talking to my ex-husband last month and I learned something new. I'm too old for him. We're good friends and we've been divorced over 3 years now. And he's on the apps. And I was curious. I was like, what range do you have for your age? And I think he said like early 40s, maxing out at around 52 because you could do a slider. And I was like, 52? I'm almost 55. As if dating apps aren't hard enough. Now I'm too old for these fuckers. If my relationship were not to work out and I decided to venture into hell, I don't think I'd show up as a possibility. Now I'm too old for you? We rejected you. Yeah, my relationship had better work out because otherwise I'm screwed. What are 55-year-old men putting?
So here's the real question. Are men rejecting more dating opportunities because they've become cynical? or because they've learned that protecting their peace can be more valuable than settling for the wrong relationship.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.